For all of our listeners, last week we talked about Freedom 35, this like weird, what is it, Berlin startup
co-working / co-living space.
Yeah, exactly. Where you had
the place I want to live at.
Yeah, the place that we all want to live at, we all want to party at, and Rob may or may not have filled out an application to go party with them.
That's where he is today.
I found out that my flatmate's friend went on a date with one of them.
Lucky her.
And I don't want to toot my own horn, or our own horn for that matter, but we were absolutely right about everything.
Yes.
Apparently, when you live at the Freedom 35 place, you have to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to do like interval training with them. And if you don't, they beat the shit out of you.
Wait, do they beat? Is this like a Burschenschaft or something? Is this
yes?
Like
it's just fascist
like
bullshit frat nonsense. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it's Startup House.
But they
beat
you.
Yes,
just imagine the dean from the Futurama Mars University episode just saying "Startup House." That's all it is.
Yeah, so it is. The fascism is there, and then the thing that was maybe the absolutely like most insane thing I've ever heard is that so they have people who then like find dates for them, and they do it based on obviously their what's it called, their Myers-Briggs test.
Myers-Briggs, yeah, okay.
And they have to line up perfectly and this and that and that, and then they have someone who schedules the date for them, and these dates are only like an hour long, and if you're not there to fuck, then your date will overlap with another person's date.
I thought that was a joke. I thought. Wait. Huh? So, like, you have to fuck them?
No, I mean they don't. You don't have to, but they see it as like a terms of like efficiency. So, yeah. So,
oh Jesus!
If you're not there to go, to fuck them, they will apparently then let your date bleed over into another one, so the guy will be dating two people, like on a date with two people at the same time. Yeah, because of efficiency. Because they have to go on these dates with as many people as they can.
It's The Bachelor.
I don't know. Yeah, and so if you're not going to immediately be like, well, like, do you want to have sex? And they'll be like, well, no, or yeah. So if you don't want to have sex with them, but you still want to be on a date with them, or whatever, then you're on a date with then two people.
So they only have sex with people that are compatible in their like Myers-Briggs results?
Yes.
That's so boring.
Yes.
Like, seriously. I mean, if you want to have casual sex, then it's just like, I don't know.
This is the height of kink in the year of our Lord 2021, which is sleeping with someone with an incompatible Myers-Briggs
I know, right?
score.
That's what I do.
Yeah, actually, do you know that guy who waits around in the bathroom at Hurricane Berghain, just asking you what your Myers-Briggs score is, and if you have like a really incompatible one.
No, you do not diss.
He's a national hero.
Yeah, he's a national hero.
He is.
I've been wondering, what is he up to during lockdown?
That's a good question.
Just in his own apartment, like throwing a cup of his own piss on his face, just being like,
same.
it's not the same.
Not
It's not the same.
Not the same. No, it's not the same.
Yeah, so that's like more or less it. They're really like, she didn't tell me more. I'm assuming because her friend
Do want to know more.
her friend did not stay on this date apparently for all that long.
What?
Why not?
Shocker! Shocked Pikachu.jpg.
I have a question. So, do you like apply for dates, or are they on Tinder? Because
so
when I
they're
saw
on Tinder, yeah. They're also on Tinder, yeah.
Because everyone has the Myers-Briggs shit on Tinder now. And what I also ask myself: do you have to have the same score, the same psychometric?
Exact same thing as them. Yes, the exact same Myers-Briggs score as them. Yeah.
So you have to be exactly like them. So otherwise, it wouldn't be efficient.
Exactly. Yes, everything's efficiency, and if you live with them, you get the shit beat out of yourself. So you know, it is literally like, I mean, Rob joked about it being like an essay thing, but it makes absolutely be that.
Like, do I have to be very good at throwing Tupperware around? Is that
Yes.
Yeah, actually,
One
maybe
of
that
the
might
There's
be
like
a question on the Myers-Briggs test. How well are you throwing at? How well can you throw Tupperware?
Not
I wish
gonna lie.
that
Not gonna lie, I took it.
I wish that I could like live with
And
that.
I'm very rare.
You open Tinder and just be like, well, this is dating now, I guess. So you sit down to take a fucking psycho.
Yeah,
took
it has Julia's Myers-Briggs test, and then like how fast she can throw Tupperware.
Yes.
Yeah.
90.
Some stats.
I can throw 90 in my Tupperware. I'm German.
This is what we call this is what we call a 3-pointer in Tupperware throwing.
The Phoenix Suns.
Yeah, the Phoenix Suns are
Often
scouting
reading baseball.
Julia for her Tupperware skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
Phoenix
thought that you
Suns
guys.
campaigning hard to change the rules of basketball to change the ball from a like piece of plastic with some salad inside. It's just going to work better for the long run.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I really am really hope that you guys enjoyed this, spot on update that I could give you guys because yeah, like I said, we were right. They are just a different version of fascism, just like techno-fascism.
See Max Fry.
Exactly.
Setting Max Fry.
Setting Max Fry.
I don't know what that means. But
Because you weren't here last week. Hey. Welcome to your weekly corner Späti. It's myself, Nick, joined with Julia.
Hello.
And Ciaran.
I'm starting to learn about basketball now.
No, you're not.
Yeah. Wikipedia.com. Basketball.
So, apparently Ciaran wants to talk about Italy, and I don't know why. And I'm just going to let him do that because why not? It gives me an excuse to do an Italian accent for no reason.
It seems to be a favorite topic every time I'm not there, so I'm glad I'm here for this one.
Yes, excellent.
True.
You know the old saying, when Julia's away, the Maiso will play.
Whenever Julia's not around, it's just me doing my best Stefan Winkleman impression.
I think you're
actually,
all scared of doing like Italian impressions in front of me.
We're scared of Julia's like long history of anti-racism that she'll complain about our like anti-Italian racism.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that is totally real. Yeah, I just like the idea of just like, that's actually our real voices. We put on these voices to impress you, Julia. But when you're around, we start talking in our true Italian accent.
Yeah, I actually can't speak English.
Nick did this for 7 years. I'm very impressed.
Yep. The con keeps going.
Yep. I still, like I said, I still cannot actually speak English. So
this is like in the way a parrot can't speak English. This is how I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, I just have someone like beaming in messages into my ear, and I'm just repeating everything in flawless English. But in reality, when I take my earpiece out, I'm just a bumbling idiot.
All right, so I think the topic for today's episode is 2021 and like some of the things we can talk about that will be happening this year. But first, I did want to talk about something that is happening in one of our favorite countries, which is Italy. So, something I found out this week is Calabria, Italy's poorest region. For anyone who doesn't know, Calabria is the toe in the boot. Every Italian region has control of their own healthcare system, except for Calabria. That's directly controlled by the Roman, like the central Italian government, because I believe it was like 2-3 years ago, 2018. Yeah, it was 2018. They were like, this entire health service is rife with like the Calabrian mafia, and that needs to stop. Please stop being, the mafia health service.
Please stop being cool and Italian. Please be normal.
I mean, it's interesting because isn't that a lot of the times like something. So there's some the opposite of it.
Inefficiency.
Thank
The
you.
thing that Freedom 35 hates.
Yes. Inefficiency about like some public health sector. Is it like waste management or something like that? And then something like the mafia steps in and takes over because I watch too much Sopranos. Okay.
Yeah, no joke though. That's the thing though, is that the Calabrian mafia actually control, like one of their biggest things that they do like notoriously control in the state is waste management. It isn't a joke.
See, it makes sense. Yeah.
And they pressure the government with it all the time. They just won't collect trash.
This is the problem of why like neoliberalism was never going to work in Italy, because whenever you do public-private partnership, the private in that partnership is the mafia. Like in like a good neoliberal country like Ireland, we just sell it to some sort of like we'd sell waste management to some sort of corporation called Glamco or something, and then Glamco.
That sounds like a good waste management.
Yeah, we're making the streets glamorous, Glamco. But no, they give it to Ndrangheta. I don't know how to pronounce. So okay, the Calabrian mafia. Ndrangheta. The Calabrian mafia has a name that if you were to look at it, I wouldn't blame you for thinking it's like a Malaysian word. Or something.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an Italian word. What? Yeah.
As far as I understand, they picked the name for themselves to be like as obtuse Calabrian Italian.
Oh.
Like it's a word only used in the Calabrian Italian dialect. Anyway, but apparently they're more powerful than Cosa Nostra now. So fun stuff. Yeah. All right, but so the Calabrian Health Service is controlled by the central government, but it's a fucking shit show at the moment. There's something like 30 beds per like 1,000 people in Calabria, like available in the healthcare service, and the south of Italy hasn't been as hard hit as the north with COVID-19, but there's been huge spikes in infection rate with the second wave. There's not been any deaths yet or hospitalizations, but they're very concerned this is going to start happening soon in the south of Italy. So the Roman government, the central government of Italy, has to appoint someone to be in charge, the health commissioner of Calabria. And in the last 2 weeks, Calabria has gone through 3 people. So
that's impressive and very Italian.
Yes. This is Freedom 35 efficiency. We're doing shitty Italian politics, but faster. So the first guy who we have here, Saverio Cotticelli, who was put in charge of the Italian region's health service because he was a general. Don't really understand how that decision was made.
It's Italy, yeah.
But he's strategic about it.
Yeah,
exactly. You can learn anything from great military strategists, like we learned.
We are
exactly. That's what I was
read Hannibal and me as like, all right, I got this.
Yeah,
I can do anything. I can fuck so much pussy.
All right, Saverio Cotticelli.
Yeah, Saverio Cotticelli read Hannibal and me by our good boy Clute, and now is ready to like win the sexual conquest, which is controlling Italian health.
You got to know the enemy. I mean, he is Roman.
Oh, we will get to that. The enemy being sex.
Oh,
yeah, we'll get.
Whoa!
Nick is offended instantly.
So he's been in charge of the region's health until since 2018 when he was first appointed by like Five Star Movement and La Lega, and now
that's a fucking link up right there.
Yeah,
right.
Italy, don't you know what? I'm gonna write in your yearbook. Never change. Stay the way that you are. Have a great summer.
I like Lega Nord's attitude to sending someone to the south of Italy is like, he needs combat training. It's wild down there. We hate them.
I mean, they are called Lega Nord, so...
Yeah. They rebranded. Don't you remember? We did an episode on that.
Yeah, they're a totally different party now. It's not like the same.
It's the Silvio Wait, no, sorry, not Silvio. It's the what's his name DJing looking like a hot dog party.
All right. But this guy got fired. Severio got fired
Aw.
because on a TV interview, like what is referred to as like a fucking car crash live TV interview, he basically said in the middle of the pandemic, did I have to do the COVID plan? I didn't know that I had to do the COVID plan. End quote. And then that interview went out and he was instantly fired because that was his like only job.
But surprise! Oh my god.
All right. But then the third guy, so I'm skipping over the second guy. The third guy who we have down here, pimped out to fuck, is I'm not sure how EU works. Eugenio?
Yeah. It's
Eugenio Gaudio.
you say like euro. So
it's like
Eugenio Gaudio. I don't know. Like
Eugenio Gaudio. Eugene God.
That's what he looks like. Yes.
Yeah. So he has a little bit of a resume. He's like written books about healthcare and stuff, and he's like a lecturer in the north of Italy. He's
just some dude who can tell you that you can like cure yourself by drinking pasta water or whatever.
No, he's purely a theory guy, so he's like really annoying. He's just like, guys, I just told we explained the theory ages ago. Just distance yourself and cure COVID. Why haven't you done that yet? So he's also involved in a scandal where like a bunch of competitions within his university were like heavily rigged in favor of people he was related to. But that's still ongoing. So yeah. But don't worry, he rejected the job one day after accepting it because his wife didn't want to move to Calabria.
Wow.
So yeah.
Fucking ultimate wife guy there. That's sick.
Yeah.
But Calabria has so many like nice. Isn't it Calabria with a nice little towns and shit like that on the coast? I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think from the wife of a like very well-to-do college person, I think they're focusing on the fact that it's poor as shit down there.
And it's literally controlled by the mafia.
That has pretty towns and cities.
Yeah.
Come on.
The sanitation here.
Would you like take a job that's in like Magdeburg?
Silence. Silence.
Just saying.
So yeah. That's Health Commissioner of Calabria number 1 and number 2. But then I have to introduce Health Commissioner, number 1 and number 3, because then I have to introduce Health Commissioner number 2, who had the job for a week. Sorry, no, not even a week. I think 3 days. Giuseppe Zuccatelli. Drink in this tall glass of water right here. Giuseppe Zuccatelli, who, I don't know, he's very frumpy, 76-year-old man. I don't really know how to visually describe him. He's just kind of whatever. He has glasses. He doesn't shave. He has like still rocking hair, but it kind of looks like there's a giant comb over going on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Let me guess, did he get COVID and die?
He actually did get COVID the first day of the job.
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah. Giuseppe Zuccatelli did get COVID like one day into his role as health commissioner of Calabria. And he was like, don't worry, it's a mild case, asymptomatic, I'm distancing, staying safe, fam, right? Which he posted onto his Instagram, which is now locked. Private Instagram, and he won't accept my follow request.
Oh, no.
Yeah. But the reason he got fired, right? Because I think if he got COVID, that would endear me to him. It's like, oh, he's in the trenches. He's fighting the good fight or whatever.
He took a big old swig of COVID right when he got it. He's like, all right, you know what? See how this goes down.
As Sun Tzu / Carthage said in this one book I read.
It's just the shit that then, like, when Trump got COVID, he's like, I understand the virus so well now. It's like, of course you fucking do. You have it.
All right, but here's the scandal and the ultimate Italian thing. So a clip from
Oh no,
the beginning
was he doing the Pope thing where he likes like sexy ladies' pictures on Instagram?
No, that would have been cooler.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's kind of related. We'll see what you think of this. So, like in the first wave, there was a clip surfaced of him in like a local TV interview where he basically said, masks don't do shit, and they actually make things worse, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Trust me, I got COVID.
Yeah. This is before he got COVID. This is the first wave.
Yeah, now I know why you got COVID.
Yeah. So that's like the kind of like that's the substantial thing that he said that like lost him his job, right? The other thing that he said that I love. Okay, so here's the exact quote from the TV, translated obviously. There is no need to use masks, and above all, to get infected, you have to kiss and with tongue for at least 15 minutes.
Damn, all these old people like tonguing each other.
Which is a big problem for Italians because they don't know how to like greet anyone else other than just like shoving their tongue down someone's throat. Like, what the fuck?
I just love him looking at the numbers in the first and the beginning of the second wave, just be like, damn, everyone's getting it on.
Yeah.
Guys, keep it in your
So
mouth.
that is why Great Britain had a sex ban and a Tinder
Yeah.
because they didn't want them kissing.
We have this leading Italian scientist telling us.
It's like there's too much kissing going on.
Yeah. Which is like very funny because he does have a very good resume
He has
in terms
a very
of like
kissable face, if you ask me.
yeah, he remembers But so when that clip came out, he tried to deny it, being like, okay, so that was like, that was the beginning of the first wave. No one really knew what they were talking about. I regret those comments. I don't believe that anymore. And like people were like, okay, sure, fine. But when the TV show Titolo Cinque, I think it's called like Title 5.
Oh, you mean so it's not the Berlusconi parade of sexy ladies.
It might be the same show. Maybe they just have like a political segment now. But Titola Cinque, this is the same place that interviewed the first guy where he was like, I was meant to do the COVID plan. This is the same show that destroyed that guy. Invited this guy to come on and explain his comments, right?
This is the Italian Breakfast Club then, where every politician in the US goes on and just becomes racist for an hour.
Basically, yeah. Racist towards Southern Italians. I was being incompetent, like you guys. And like, oh no, don't say that. But they asked him to come onto the show to explain the kissing and, don't wear masks comment.
All of Italy is wondering how to kiss.
Yeah, all of Italy. Please explain to us, Mr. Scientist. No. He didn't come onto the show, and that's what the next picture is that I've got here. They sent him the WhatsApp message, please come on to Titola Cinque, to which he immediately responds with this link explaining that a study in the US had shown that wearing masks made the symptoms worse. Now, that study is completely fucking bogus, and the website that he got it from, Imolagi, is like an ultra-Catholic, quasi-fascist publication made by someone who's now in like Lega Nord. So people were like, so the Titola Cinque immediately was like, okay, so you're not coming on the show? And he was like, no, this link is enough. So the next episode of Titola Cinque, they're just like posted this, be like, so this was his response. So he obviously doesn't, he obviously still believes these comments because he wouldn't be defending them otherwise.
Como se dice cancelled?
Cancelione.
Come trasformare gli asintomatici in malati con le mascherine. So it's basically, how do you transfer the asymptomatic into sick ones?
With masks.
With masks, by wearing a mask. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Oh god.
Yeah, so
That's a wild take.
yeah, so like while all like official like documentation and stuff that's definitely making it into the English version of this like story is like, oh, he rescinded these comments, but he resigned anyway. No, that's not what happened because he almost went on TV. His WhatsApp chat went onto TV. Basically, him trying to defend this. So yeah, there you go.
Beautiful.
That's what's happening in Italy.
Oh
Normal
my
Italy
goodness.
stuff.
Normal country as always. Thank you, Ciaran. I also did not do an Italian voice throughout the entire event, so you're welcome, listener.
Nice. Well, there's still time, Nick. There's still time.
I love this PowerPoint presentation. Thanks, Ciaran.
Thank you. Yeah, we've gone back to, for the people at home, we've gone back to visual notes, which is something we did for a little bit, and then the pandemic happened.
Yeah. Exactly.
Wait, so are we
But
still
now-
talking about Italy?
No.
Okay.
Ciao, Bella. It's me, Giuseppe Zuccatelli, the guy we were talking about earlier in this podcast. When I'm not just shoving my tongue down a lovely broad's mouth for 15 minutes, making sure she gets COVID, a thing I have questionable beliefs on, I'm listening to my favorite podcast, Corner Spatio, or Corner Späti as the Germans call it. Anyway, if you want to support that podcast, you can go to patreon.com/Corner Späti. And, give some money and listen to bonus episodes where we talk shit behind the paywall, possibly about me, Giuseppe Zuccatelli. Mamma mia, pizza party! Ciao! So, one of the main topics of this episode is the upcoming elections this year, because there is some big elections coming up this year, including the German election, which we'll talk a little bit at towards the end. But there's other stuff happening. I'm going to do my best to make sure this is not like a super German-focused podcast this year, even though it is.
Yulia and I will ruin that.
Yes.
Yes, it's this is season 3 of Corner Späti, if you want, and the arc is Yulia and Nick versus me.
There's an anime now too, and it takes place in a school.
Yes, of course,
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the school with quasi-fascist structures.
Yeah, but we all have
Exactly.
massive tits.
Yes,
Of course, and
especially me.
Running.
I have toast in my mouth to indicate that I am late.
Yes.
I have a constant nosebleed, so I'm horny.
I'm
horny.
horny
all the
for my
time.
own tits.
I'm always putting my hand behind my head and saying,
Single sweat drop.
exactly.
Excellent. So on Corner Späti Season 3, Corner Späti X Academio.
Because it obviously is Italian.
It's also classic Italian anime. It's the German, Italian, Japanese link up. What could go wrong?
Oh, God, that's always a good idea.
Always a great idea. Obviously, there's other elections going on, and we're in Germany. So when these other elections happen, I will try to get some nice comrades on to talk some good shit. But
Yay.
I thought I'd highlight some things that are coming up this year. So first up, later this month, we have the presidential election in Portugal.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think I know who's gonna win.
For people at home, I've put up a graph of the polling average. Yeah, Marcelo, the incumbent Marcelo is going to win, definitely. I looked into Marcelo a little bit. He is from the Social Democrat Party, or PSD, which, don't get it fooled, that's the center-right party. because
Oh no! I had my hopes up.
no, sorry. This is Portugal. Because of the Coronation Revolution, everyone has to kind of claim they're a communist, even though they're not.
Oh, damn it. Come on, I thought they
Yeah.
were doing right. They were doing well at some point.
No, they are not. So Marcelo, the only thing I can really find about Marcelo, my cursory research on him, is in classic Southern European political excellence. He got married in the 50s, I believe, possibly the 70s, but he separated, never divorced from his wife because he's Catholic, but since 1980 he's been casually dating one of his former students.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's very European.
It's very Southern European.
Como se dice true love in Portuguese?
in Portuguese? I don't know. Truolovio, but more nasal.
Yeah.
That's my understanding of Portuguese. The big thing about this presidential election, though, is André Ventura, Ace Ventura's Portuguese horrible cousin, is running for the Chega party, which has a lovely logo that looks like a golden chicken nugget.
Is that supposed to be Portugal?
That's Portugal.
It's supposed to be Portugal, but it looks like a golden chicken nugget.
It does look like a golden chicken nugget.
Let me guess. They're like a far right-wing party.
Oh yeah,
of course.
Oh yeah.
Any party that has a golden chicken wing on their on their emblem must be, fascist shit. I've never seen it before, so I'm just gonna make an assumption.
I agree.
Well, for anyone who doesn't know, the grand kind of European / international narrative of Portugal was that the far right hadn't really been able to get a hold in Portugal. But for anyone who's been paying attention to this long enough, that was the story with Spain until Vox happened, and it's only a matter of time.
Oh, so this is Vaux. This is the
this is Val, yeah, Vaux with the cool. tilde over the O. Yes. So I'm gonna read a little quote from Chega's Wikipedia page. I want to read this out to here to give you an understanding. Chega has been criticized for promoting to high-ranking positions individuals with ties to organizations with neo-Nazi and far-right ideals. Before this was investigated, the head of the list, Ventura, and pet detective, promised to have zero tolerance with the militants connected with extremist or racist movements. Despite this, the party leader organized a march during coronavirus outbreak in 2020, which received huge backup and support from the Portuguese neo-Nazi Mario Machado. Also, several members of the party also have admitted to belonging to neo-Nazi organizations.
It sounds a bit like Portuguese Navalny or something like that. I'm just marching with the Nazis. I am not affiliated with them.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Got me feeling like Southern European Navalny over here.
I do also want to stress
but I'm sexy.
I do want to stress that he does kind of look like a slightly chubbier Ace Ventura, and that could just be because his name's Ventura.
I think that I think you're reading too much into this. I don't see it.
God damn it.
I love it though, Ciaran. I take it.
André Ventura, immigrant detective. All right.
You made me almost spit out my drink.
He enters into Portuguese Parliament being like, somebody stop me. I think that's The Mask. That's another Jim Carrey film. Anyway, that's the Portuguese presidential vote. Next, and most cursed of all, the Dutch general election.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, my God. I didn't
look at all those parties.
Didn't know that Sterni was going for.
Yeah, I know what Sternburg Export is fucking.
Sternburg Export is running for
Dutch Parliament.
Yeah,
we'll get to that.
Those pictures, I love it.
Yeah,
beautiful.
So, obviously, in the polls, the party that's in charge, VVD, the liberal party that Mark Rutte is in charge of, is doing well, but people kind of forget that the Netherlands at the beginning of Corona tried to do the herd immunity thing as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're still kind of feeling the repercussions of that. And that was Rutte's plan. So I'm wondering if he will have I feel like that's going to be something brought up in debates. What the fuck were you doing in March, Rutte? What were you doing? The other things that we need to take into consideration with this election is this is the first general election where Forum for Democracy will be a thing. We've talked about Thierry Baudet before, and there was the political scandal where there was struggles within his party, but he seems to have come out on top. And they're still holding big events, even though there is coronavirus happening at the moment.
Beautiful. Which
I've been alerted to. The tickets are free, so if anyone wants to do some action, you can just reserve all the tickets.
That's it.
Nothing on the website stops you from taking multiple ones, and they're free.
Yeah,
so
there is one unfortunately on the 10th, which will not be in time. It'll be on Monday, I think, right?
Damn it.
Yeah.
Sunday. But yeah, so the next time that one of these does come up, any of our comrades in the Netherlands, you you and 5,000 of your best homies can get tickets for this and, not show up, because the smart thing to do would be not to show up during a pandemic. So, yeah, just a little tidbit of info.
Direct healthcare, I call this.
The other two things I should mention about the Netherlands is there was also like weird power drama within the Socialist Party. And like the young wing, like the youth wing of the Socialist Party, Rood, or however you pronounce red in Dutch, have like split. This is the party that symbol looks like the Stemburg export.
I was assuming as such. They have to be socialist.
I would call them like Rood or something. Young in the SP.
Yeah.
Rood.
They are like they for some weird scandal. I don't know the exact details, but I'll investigate more for the election. The youth wing was basically kicked out of the party structure and doesn't receive any party funds.
Are they to
but they're
left?
still
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is definitely what's going on. Yeah. And but they are receiving, they're doing like crowdfunding and like are sustaining themselves through crowdfunding as like an organization, which is pretty impressive.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one is
BG.
BN? BG, yes.
The Kurdish party.
The Kurdish party of the Netherlands.
I'm not entirely sure how this is actually pronounced. BIJ1. I think it's BN. I might be wrong. But they started as like an anti-racist party. They've picked up some momentum because when the George Floyd stuff happened in the US, there was similar situations where like people of color were being like chokeholded by the Dutch police, and they managed to like rally support and like make themselves a name. They were always like an anti-racist party. They're also like the big voices behind like anti-Zwarte Piet stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they are now polling high enough to be included in polls.
Well, that's
they
some
used
good
to be
news.
like that is some good news, and they might end up with something like 3 seats. From the Dutch comrades I've talked to, the strategy seems to be vote for BN because they're probably like the best party at the moment. They've been actively expanding their platform from beyond anti-racism to also include like anti-capitalism, like general equality, both for like sexual identities, migrants, all that kind of stuff. They're good, as far as I can tell.
We love to see it. So
we do love to see it, especially in the cursed country of the Netherlands.
Yes.
Yeah. Worse Germany.
Yes. We didn't think you could do it, but you did.
It's just like,
and then
the Netherlands is just like, all right, so the Netherlands is like like THC wax. Like it's just ultra concentrated, like that shit that just gets you fucked up, This isn't a thing in Europe, but in the US it's like a thing.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's like instead of smoking weed, you just smoke the like wax residue that then like you can make out of weed. And it's like incredibly potent and gets you just really fucked up.
Just saying we have hash, so we don't need
exactly. So like, Germany is just like your
We're
standard...
close enough to the countries that the US bombs, so...
Yeah,
the US
I'm just saying is like that the Netherlands is like just concentrated, THC wax.
Yes. It is. Germany is a cup of black coffee, and I feel like the Netherlands is an espresso. It's just more the smaller space. But next, coming up in March, we have the Bulgarian general election.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's right down my alley.
Gerb.
Yes. Because we've mentioned this on the podcast, I had to spend so hard scraping through like Bulgarian internet, shoving so many things into Google Translate to figure this out because they're not on the polling yet. But Vashko Boshkov's The Skull in isolation in Dubai, Bulgarian Summer is contesting this election. His political party, Bulgarian Summer, the weird direct democracy, libertarian, please let the skull back into the country and give him all his relics back party, is contesting the March 28th elections.
Damn.
Hell yeah.
You can join up.
What are his
don't
chances?
have a manifesto. Who knows? Who the hell knows? As far as I can tell, English internet is basically not aware of this thing. That this has happened. The last time we talked about Vasyl Boshkov, Rob did bring it to us that he was had been exiled to Dubai. All his money had been confiscated, and he was doing like a protracted posting war from Dubai, and he was starting a political party called Bulgarian Summer.
Well,
and I didn't think.
I think that the official Corner Späti line is to support and respect all posters wherever they are in the world.
Yes,
I'm
solidarity with
endorsing him.
posters.
You know what? You can pull up on his Wikipedia page now. Endorsees of the skull.
Bulgaria 2020.
Yeah, and it will say Corner Späti formally endorses the skull. Not because we agree with his politics, but we stand in solidarity with posters.
Yes. Also, the only other piece of information about this political party that I could figure out is Boryl Sokolov has been made party chairman because Boshkov is still in Dubai. And this is the guy who formerly ran Boshkov's sports betting company. So, yeah, there you go. Political excellence. I have high hopes for Bulgarian Summer, the weird direct democracy sports betting party.
I'm going to look into this.
I'm going to join up. What's party membership sounds fun.
I'm going to write this down right now. I'm going to look into this.
Yeah, BG
shot, Ciaran.
We're gonna
bgsummer2020.com. That's the website.
Oh yeah, I can do the Bulgarian one. So
yeah, there's like a join up. There's like a membership form here. It's everything, man. You got it. Their logo is a lion on fire.
I don't know if that's a good sign.
Sick.
So it's very
the lion doesn't seem to mind. The lion seems to be like, I'm on fire and it's good. And then honorable mentions for other elections this year are April 25th, Albania.
Yeah.
They had giant fucking massive protests last year in the beginning of 2019. Or 2020 even. So yeah, that still has to be dealt with. Cyprus in May 23rd, a dumpster fire of a country that no one really knows what to do with. It's just kind of there.
You just give it to Turkey, obviously. That's also the Corner Späti official thing, is that we are a
pro-Turkish annexation of Cyprus.
Exactly.
Then, September 13th, the Norwegian election. I can confirm that our man Per Sandberg, the guy who would only drink drive on Norwegian roads because they're just built better, he has left the Progress Party, the weird pedophilia party, and he's joined the
alcoholism party.
Almost. He joined a party that exists in Norway called the Capitalist Party.
Oh, that's a great name. That's very on point.
Yeah, as far as I can tell, they are a libertarian party. Their logo is like the torch.
Oh my
losers.
God. Wow.
Yeah. But he's joined that party and he's running for Oslo district or something like that for them. And he's also moved in with his Iranian Norwegian girlfriend. So good for them.
Good for him. Good job, King.
It's like, how? We don't know, but it caused a massive political scandal in Norway.
I mean, she's hot.
She is very good looking, but yeah, if anyone doesn't remember, he went to Iran all of a sudden as Minister of Fisheries with this woman that Noah was like, are you dating her? It seems like you're dating her. And he was just kept posting on his Instagram, Iran is a brilliant country.
I love my wife.
And everyone was like, you're a government official and you brought your government phone and you didn't tell any security services you were going to Iran.
Oh my God.
When did you do this? And then lastly of the year, October 8th to 9th, we have the Czech election.
Yay!
And we should probably at some point talk about Babiš because he's insane.
Let's do it. I know. I thought we did before. We didn't?
No, we haven't.
Oh
We haven't
shit!
yet,
I
yeah.
know a lot. Like,
I know. I think we just had conversations like in private, Julia.
oh shit. Okay, we should record that next.
The
time.
other type of podcasting where you're just chatting with your friends.
Conversation with
Friendship,
friends. Okay, yeah, I'm down.
Nice. And that leads us to the big one, the elephant in the room, the German general election.
Yeah, well, we're not going to be talking about that, actually, are we? Because
Well,
Germany's in a really
we'll be talking about
weird
something that's kind of
position
important to
currently
it.
right now. Yeah. So, if anyone here has been, I mean, like, let's just be honest to ourselves, the most, like, the biggest country in Europe, now that the UK is gone, probably the biggest economic powerhouse of Europe, the one that gets the most attention is where we live, Germany. I wouldn't even think that like France gets that much attention as Germany does. And it's also kind of, especially maybe like because of under Merkel, it's become this liberal, kind of Jerusalem
Paradise.
for libs, if you will,
yeah.
like the city upon the hill of like, look at what could become if we were just like
Berlin.
the Germans.
From the city of the swamps to the city upon the hill.
Yeah,
That's impressive.
But so the thing that then is very interesting about what is coming up with the German election is that Angela Merkel is not running for her party, for the CDU, which
All kind
obviously
of sad and dead inside because of that.
No joke. Actually, it's incredibly frightening to see. Like, given like I think that it's no surprise to anyone that we aren't big fans of Merkel. But it's obvious that she provided a sense of stability within the CDU that then, or the CDU that wasn't this like insanely just traditional conservative party that
kind of kept the Werteunion in their like place. The Werteunion to know is like is the far right ring of the party.
CDU.
Yeah.
Right. What's Werte mean? What's
Werte values.
Values.
Oh,
Values
union.
union.
Okay.
Or worth.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But in this sense, it's more like
It's
values.
values,
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Because like, just to say for anyone who hasn't looked at it, but like polling, unless something crazy happens, the CDU is going to be the biggest party.
Yeah.
In the next
very
election.
Yes.
So this is the thing that then gets interesting though, is because why this is so important is because because Merkel has so many people who vote CDU who typically wouldn't. People who would probably vote SPD or maybe even Greens this time around. The CDU is kind of in a I don't know. We can just call it an identity crisis because they don't know where to take the party forward. And internally within the party, there's a lot of debate of who is popular, but then who kind of the people of the upper echelon of the party want to see come forward. So the middle of this month, they have they're electing internally within their party the new head of the CDU. And remember, Germany's really stupid and has two different conservative parties that then function as one, of the CDU and the CSU. So this is not the chancellor candidate, because the chancellor candidate could still come from the CSU. Which is
it's very important to note that a lot of the time, so when you're a Fraktionsvorsitzender, when you're Parteivorsitzender, so when you're the head of the party, you are probably also going to run for chancellor.
Yeah. And this may not be the case this year.
Yeah.
Depending on if, and we'll get to our lovely three boys who are in the runnings right now.
Well, we have more than three.
Later on. But the three main guys, and they are dudes. Sorry, the CDU does not seem to care about inclusivity this time around. You had a woman at the head for 16 years. Give dudes.
They're like, okay, that's enough. Like,
for the next 100 years.
White male erasure. We can't have this.
Actually, no. But like, this is the thing that's so weird, is that
there is someone in Junge Union writing that think piece right now.
Seriously, I swear there are.
Yeah. So the thing that then's actually kind of funny though about that, we joke, but remember they were trying to do AKK to be the head of the party again, to kind of keep this. I don't know if it was directly girl power, but the CDU is actually not bad about this, which is kind of interesting that there are three guys because they did make a conscious effort of putting someone at the head of the party who wasn't a dude. She just happened to be more conservative than most of the men in her party.
Yeah.
People didn't like her. I feel like she was bullied out of her job. That was the impression I got.
Yeah, I mean, she did a lot of shit, but like the others are as well. So it's kind of like,
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
So-
they're all monsters.
yeah.
So to like just quickly put this into perspective too, is that there's also another problem that then the CDU has, is that Angela Merkel is way too popular. You know, like I mentioned, that there's the sense that there are people who would vote SPD or Green.
She is the mother of the country.
Yeah, her. I mean, literally,
Mutti.
like during a during the polling that then is done every week by the German public media broadcasting service, Merkel like polls comfortably at 70%. Which is unheard of.
But she's not running.
No, exactly. But I mean, compare that to then like Macron has like historically low number. Like the only person lower approval rating than him was Hollande and shit like that.
Yeah.
Most European leaders or most leaders currently in like Western countries are not all like, they're not that popular. Even Obama was at like 50% his entire time of being president. So Merkel is like sitting pretty. I mean, currently right now, 72%. My absolute favorite thing about this poll is how well she is known. And it is 99% because they obviously cannot say 100% because there may be one person in this country who does not know who Angela Merkel
Everyone
is.
does,
And I'm
huh?
wondering what kind of just like insane life are they living that you do not know who the Chancellor of Germany for the last 16 years has been, or just like suffering from just like insane Alzheimer's or whatever.
No one looked to check, but actually the Valley of the Ignorant in East Germany still doesn't get TV. So there's like can't see who's the Chancellor of the country. They just for some strange reason still get GDR television.
Which is beautiful.
Yeah, they still get. Yeah, the only way that they know about the West is the Schwarze Kanal.
Yeah, they still get Schwarze Kanal is still being made.
That'd be so sick. But all right, so these popularity indexes I'll get back to later because they become important when we talk about the party as a whole of the CDU CSU. But let's give a little, a little taste of our three dudes, and maybe Yulia you can start because you're from the state where two of these guys are from.
North Rhine-Westphalia. It's so funny because when like I hear them speak, especially when I hear Merz speak, even though he's from Sauerland, which is like down North Rhine-Westphalia, like you can hear it because instead of the G, you do a H. So like bewegt. Anyway.
Yeah, so Yulia's clearly voting for Felix Merz.
Yeah, clearly.
That's a bit sexy
Yulia has one of the 1001 votes.
Yeah, it's either Merz or Laschet because Laschet is that guy. So yeah, we have these two guys from NRW. And sorry, Ciaran. Yeah.
I was going to say that my slides are slightly out of order, but I'm just going to go to the next slide because I think you guys need to see this. I found the best picture.
Oh, hell yeah. That's awesome.
But yeah, we've got Laschet. We've got a picture of Laschet there. And Rutgen, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Rutgen.
Yeah, Rutgen, yeah. I gotta say, I don't know that much about Rutgen, actually. I only care for the North Rhine-Westphalian dudes. Yeah.
I'm going to post this on Twitter, but this photo of Rutgen with his, like, resting his hands on his chin and looking at you, just really, I had to Photoshop a fedora onto it. It just sounds like he's saying, Fraulein. I don't get it. But yeah, so we've got Metz and Laschet, you were saying.
Yes. So Merz kind of like is handled as being the most popular right now, especially with Junge Union, as far as I know. When you ask the Mitglieder,
he already won their election, like their internal Junge Union election. He won.
Yeah, exactly. But we all know that Junge Union is basically like a fucking like the hangout or something. But
Yulia, we legally cannot say that on the show.
Oh shit!
Allegedly, hangout.
Allegedly, sympathetic.
Okay, what can we say? Wait. Okay.
Allegedly.
Fine, just keep going. I covered you. It's fine. We said allegedly. The FBI is not
gonna. But yeah, Junge Union is like known for having like super sexist posters, like. I don't know, hanging out under the Reichsflagge and shit like that.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
Yeah, in Münster, NRW, of course, because it was the only. They just rented that Burschenschaft room. Like they just wanted to hang out there. It wasn't their fault that they were posing for a picture in front of the Reichsflagge. Anyway, that's NRW Junge Union. But Merz is probably something like the most conservative you can get right now in the CDU in that sense. In comparison to the other candidates, I don't know that much about Röttgen, but I do know that Laschet is more like someone that is kind of like in Merkel's kind of fraction of the party, more supporting like Merkel's views than Merz is, definitely. Merz was one of the guys, that did criticize Merkel for her policies in 2015 and her handling of the quote-unquote refugee crisis.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that we should just be fair here and say that we're just not going to talk about Röttgen because he does not have a chance of winning the Parteivorsitz.
Actually, which is interesting, he does now did catch up to Laschet in some of the polls. So I don't know, but I really don't know anything about Röttgen. I'm sorry, he's not from North Rhine-Westphalia.
We're bad at our job. No, I to be very fair, the thing that like Röttgen's just like a really standard CDU guy. Like he's just been in the party for a really long time. He also is actually from NRW as well. So
damn it, he is.
Yeah,
shit, look at me.
But he's not like he's just lawyer guy who's been in this party forever. Like his.
I mean, Merz is the lawyer guy as well, but
they're all. But this is the thing is that they're all just like really standard. Yeah. CDU guys. The thing that then, I would say that then Röttgen's just like a standard dude. He's just kind of there, whatever, this and that and that. And Merz and Laschet definitely have like a lot of shit behind them in the last year that just makes them insane candidates. The fact of like Merz just like the other day went on the news, I think at like a Junge Union meeting or something like that, and was just like, we're gonna completely reverse Merkel's policies. Like the refugee policies. So he is exactly like you said. Like he is.
We are sending 1 million Germans to Syria. That is the reverse of her policy. No, can I just say because this gets very into the weeds of German politics, which as the resident does not speak German on this podcast, I'm always falling behind on. I just want to say the funnest thing I know about Junge Union, the youth wing of the CDU, is they still support Germany entering the Iraq War.
They do?
Yeah. They're insane.
This year.
The purest distillation of this party.
That's a bit late, isn't it?
No, they're just like, no, we should go in. Yeah. That's why they haven't won yet. Germany's not there.
Yeah. But
with Armin Laschet, okay, of course, Armin Laschet is more not Army, Army Laschet. You were talking too much about the Iraq War here. Armin Laschet being quite known right now is because he is the
Sausage King of Philadelphia.
Exactly, yeah, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the thing that he got in so much trouble for this. Actually, no, he didn't get in any trouble for it. That's the thing that's so fucking amazing about it.
Well,
Julia, can you explain the situation?
He is the head of NRW, so the most populated state in Germany. So the NRW elections are always kind of are seen as a hint of what is going to happen with the whole chancellor elections, etc. So kind of like a foreshadowing of it. So Armin Laschet was though involved in a lot of scandals this year, especially the one with Tönnies. Tönnies being one of the biggest meat producers in Germany, and not really willing to agree to any kind of work hygienic COVID prevention measures or anything. So, wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because my wait, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I hear like a Rauschen, so like
You're fine.
which I didn't hear before. Okay. Where was I? Yeah. Was Tanya's like having a massive case of infections in their like workforce, and Tanya's, which is in Reda Wiedenbrück, between Gofeld Reda Wiedenbrück or something like that.
That doesn't mean anything to anyone listening to this show unless it's Jan from Hölle 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 who knows what you're talking
Well,
about.
shout out to Jan.
Welcome to a very specific part of NRV chat.
Anyway, like he was very, very he wasn't very strict on any kind of like the implementation of any kind of like safety measures for COVID-19 in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to keep NRV open, or wanted to open it up like quite quickly after the lockdown. So because of
Berlin also closed like crashes, like kitas and schools before NRV did.
Yeah.
Yeah. The thing though that
back in the first wave.
Yeah, so the thing is that then Laschet, the thing with the meat scandal is that then Tönnies ended up being, he is one of the largest donors to the CDU in NRV, and it's very obvious that then that there's this, connection between then the, these donations to the party and potentially that influencing the lack of lockdown and the lack of
supervising there.
Yeah, which was primarily, like we talked about, the Romanian labor that got COVID in Germany, the migration labor, and it's a similar situation than here, where it's mostly migrant labor working in these meat packing factories, and that whole weirdly enough being more of a scandal within like the football scene in Germany than it was like with actual like political downfall
because
of someone
the
like
Tönnies guy, because Tönnies man, what's his name again, was also one of the bigger sponsors of Schalke, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he did like he was kind of like, I think, kicked out of his like Vorstands position, so like what's it called? Council?
Yeah.
He was on the council for Schalke or something. But still, when the Bundesliga was going without audience, he showed up to all the games, and everyone was kind of like buddy with him, of course, because that is how it goes. But
yeah, so these are more or less our three dudes. Sorry, Norbert or Norby, as I'm going to call you from now on.
I got to do more research on Norby. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know he was from NRV.
I'm just going to say for the purposes that I now am convinced the universe exists to make us all look like idiots, I'm going to now predict Norbert Röttgen as next Chancellor of Germany, just to fuck with us for doing this episode.
That is so unlikely.
Massive swing in the polls.
So this is the thing that then's actually pretty interesting, is that then you've been seeing like I mentioned Markus Söder earlier, the head of the CSU. Yeah. He has been palling around with Laschet, if I'm not mistaken, like trying to, because he doesn't like.
Where's
Merz.
the picture?
It's coming.
Wait, he doesn't like Merz? That's interesting.
No, Söder doesn't like Merz.
Yeah, Söder is not like in the run right now for, of course, the head of the party, because he is CSU, not CDU. So what is going to be decided right now in January is the head of the party, which Merz also criticized the handling heavily, because he didn't want it to be postponed like it was. He wanted to. He from the beginning he said, "Oh, we should do like a digital Parteitag party."
Party day?
Party day, they call that.
Parteitag.
Yeah.
Party day.
You should have a digital club,
Digital party day.
Yeah.
Surfs up, hang 10.
So,
I wasn't finished. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I didn't hear your audio.
Okay. Saying that now that he suggested that from the beginning, and then after, because in Germany it's not allowed to vote over the internet like that, so you have to send letters.
My dearest Markus Söder.
Mail-in ballots. He said now that they postponed it into like mid of January and then do the mail-in voting by I think the results should be out like 22nd of January or something like that. Or he said now Laschet has too much time to prepare his like his performance, like, you know, his like being better at speaking and shit, like that, being better, like preparing more speeches. I don't know. He was heavily criticizing it. So Merz is really a guy that goes against like everything right now that everything like he did before, like against what Merkel did. He's also very controversial in a lot of his like parliament votes and stuff like that, but we will elaborate on that, I think, on a special Merz time.
Yeah.
Special Merz time, our new second podcast
So
with us in collaboration with Junge Union.
Exactly, yes. Special guest, Junge Union in Berlin Mitte, who then had the like anti-left-wing like Christmas market last year or whatever it was.
Streaming live from Freedom 25.
Yeah.
Freedom 35,
yeah. Just on like
35,
on one,
sorry.
Yeah, on one quick little last note, because I was mentioning the sense about how Laschet and Söder have been buddying recently, which is very weird because they actually like didn't like each other a little bit like a few months ago, but now Laschet like did like a reading of Söder's biography like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nerds.
You know why? He saw the pictures of Söder as a young guy.
He saw
as a young lad.
Yeah,
he
exactly.
He saw young Söder and he was
young
like, oh,
Söder.
Shit. Young Söder.
Yeah, but so the thing that like
name.
the bit of speculation of that as well is that then I think that they're assuming that Merz is going to get the CDU like Parteivorstand, which obviously maybe strengthens him for his position as chancellor, like the chancellor candidate.
Yeah.
And so they're going to then potentially get behind Söder as the guy who isn't, like as Julia mentioned, like Merz is like maybe the worst of the worst for what you could imagine the right wing of the CDU currently being. And maybe the CDU does the like Neo-Demokratia tactic of like moving further right to capture like the AfD voters, because remember the AfD like isn't polling that well right now actually. Like their corona reaction and stuff like that hasn't been what people expected, and everyone's just kind of been like, yeah, just shut the fuck up, like we just the corona demos and stuff like that that a lot of AfD people are kind of getting all on about, or some of them are just kind of annoying at this point, and the AfD doesn't really have like that big of like a political stake, it seems like.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because, like, I think all the other countries that we've talked about, like with Chega in Portugal and FVD in the Netherlands, a lot of them have kind of, well, despite everything that happened to FVD, they've managed to like successfully incorporate the anti-corona, anti-lockdown grift. Whereas I feel like AfD initially, especially with the first lockdown, struggled. They didn't really know what the fuck to do with
they had those like weird posters of just like an AfD dude just like taking a mask off or whatever. That was, but I mean, they really like, that's the thing is that the AfD has been, so there have been the like corona protests and whatnot, but it's been pretty much by the guy who started the Querdenken movement, which isn't a movement. It's actually his own personal company that you can give donations to.
Sick.
Or sorry, not even donations. It's gifts, so he doesn't have to declare them as donations. It's it's just a grift. And
smart guy business stuff.
Yeah, until the whatever. But it is really interesting that you haven't seen a much stronger opposition to the things like lockdown and stuff like that from the AfD officially, more so from just lone weirdos who kind of come and go, who are maybe like AfD affiliated. And I think that will come along with then where we're going to kind of go next. I mean, if we're done talking, I mean, like Julia said, we're going to talk about Merz probably multiple times throughout this show. I mean, he's a massive misogynist historically, massive racist, just overall, like maybe the worst of the like the polar opposite of a Merkel.
Homophobic as well.
Homophobic as well. Where he so kind of transitioning over to then the sense of while the CDU will have their head of their party by the end of this month, we won't know who their candidate is probably until like right up to the election, as I, would suspect, because back to the question of that then, who is as popular as Merkel? And that's been changing weekly, obviously, with coronavirus.
Yep. I mean, right now people are even talking about Spahn.
Yeah,
nobody knows right now. Yeah.
Well, yeah, a week ago we would have said that with confidence, and now this week after the the vaccine debacle.
Yeah. I mean, there are speculations if his like polls are getting better and stuff like that, or go like better than Laschet, he would. And then he denied, saying that, or denied those rumors. So we don't know yet about our Buster. It's just like if people don't know.
Yes.
For people who don't know, Jens Spahn looks like Buster Bluth from
Buster Bluth's Bundeskanzler.
But like specifically fancy Buster Bluth whenever he's like dressed up,
with a bow tie.
With both of his hands, of course, too, because imagine Jens Spahn with just like one massive hand that's a fake hand.
I'm a monster. Ich bin ein Monster.
Yeah, so
whenever the number of like corona infections go up in Germany, it's just Ich bin ein Monster. And freaks out.
Yeah, so Jens Spahn's been riding on this very weird wave of kind of dealing with, at least on, the initial level of saying things well.
Yeah.
Good with the way that the states are individually implementing them has not been very well, obviously, in Germany.
Also, like, Corona probably gave him more popularity because before he was very... Or as a kid of like two Pflege, what do you say, like care
workers? Oh yeah,
care
workers hate Jens Spahn.
Like intensive unit care worker and someone who works in an elderly home. We hate Jens Spahn. But now, of course, he changed a lot because he changed not enough. Of course, he always has like a you know how it is, with conservatives, always like fixing just like mildly or like fixing it wrong or not even fixing it, but changing their minds. Apparently, like in the apparent situation of in the situation of having a global pandemic, suddenly he does recognize how important and essential care work is.
Yeah, getting coronavirus is like the end of the Grinch, where the Grinch's heart grows, like 3 sizes or whatever.
That's Jens Spahn right now, but not that
not
three
at all,
sizes.
though.
Not 3 sizes, no.
Maybe like
just like a millimeter.
Yeah, which
3
is
sizes.
unhealthy.
Yeah,
he
shouldn't.
Abnormally large heart now. He may die.
That's going to cause problems. So he's got like that, like kind of Fauci popularity almost. So just like, I'm not sure how many.
Situation,
yeah. I'm not sure how common a thing that is throughout the world. I'd be very interested in finding if that trend has because
I think it. Yeah. I think it
like. The health minister becoming this new idol, basically, within the country. Like, is that a common trend?
I can stand the Italian Calabrian health minister.
Well, yeah, obviously.
I mean, not even the health minister. It also is like whoever the leader is, whatever situation we have, is it a chancellor or president or whatever, you can see like two kind of like tendencies. Is either they are able to consolidate their power in that sense and like seeming like the someone who maneuvers you through the crisis, or the opposite, where you have a lot of like protesting, like you had in Belarus, and you still have Lukashenko.
Remember,
I'm so glad Lukashenko's gone.
Yeah, like Jens Spahn though wasn't the Germany Fauci. It was Christian Trost for a while.
Yeah, exactly.
So they had their like, I mean, you had like your like dude that you could get like weirdly horny about because he knew medicine and then was like kind of wrong about a bunch of stuff.
Tell me more about about that virus, baby.
Yeah. That was the shit that was so funny to me, is that the Christian Gross just like really just like went on like on like podcasts and whatnot for months, being like, "Yep, Germany's fine, Germany's fine, Germany's fine." And I don't want to toot our own horn, but we were like, "No, like Germany definitely is not going to be fine." And then I remember like all of a sudden when like the actual numbers of Germany came out, him then being like, "Oh no, Germany's not actually fine," and I'm just like wondering like, what's the point of this person?
But I didn't follow Drosten that much, to be honest. So
no, exactly. Neither did I, because it was all just like, telling Germans, "Oh yeah, hey, we are the best, we are great." And it's like, yeah, but like Germany's not going to go into an actual lockdown, so this is going to fuck us over. When like anyone with like half a brain could have seen that, and Trost just being, kind of gaslighting Germans into being like, "Oh no, it's fine, just like wear your mask, but you can like kind of like do this and that and that." But then once the scenario got worse here, then he was like, "Oh no," like kind of doing like the Fauci thing of just like changing his like medical expert position every single week, when the reality of it is that the answer was like right in front of like, just do what like Southeast Asian countries were doing, and they're just like, "Oh no, we're white and Western, we don't have to go into that type of lockdown." It's like, yeah, you kind of do, because they don't have coronavirus anymore and we still do, and it's 2021 and we still can't do anything.
Hey.
I do want to point out that this is like the only photo of Jens Spahn that I could find where he wasn't like pictured with masks or in like a care home or with nurses or something.
See?
Like the branding, the branding for him is like Corona, baby. It's bad for everyone but me, but I can't say that. So it's this weird situation. I'm very curious to see if Jens Spahn becomes anything.
Yeah.
He might or might not, because correct me if I'm wrong, Yulia, but like being the health minister before Corona, was that ever seen as a like, oh, they could be chancellor one day kind of position?
No, not really.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
No, not really. It's like Wirtschaftsminister or something like that, or But that's actually also like something that people criticize about Merz. Merz is someone who doesn't have any experience in like really governing. He's just
in cabinet or like
he's just the head of the economics council of the CDU, but he is not in a minister position or anything like that.
He's not finance minister. He's not. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, Ciaran, you had like a little theory about Jens Spahn. If you want to, roll it out now,
please.
save it.
Yeah. So I guess I'll kind of save it to do more research about Jens Spahn, but. You kind of, when you first described Jens Spahn to me, Nick, you mentioned that like, he's like, he would be like one of Germany's first openly gay politicians, even though he belongs to like a conservative party that definitely has like a very homophobic wing.
Which Matt's literally like during an interview used Jens Spahn pretty much as an example.
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Cool.
They asked Mads how he would feel about
having a gay chancellor,
and he said keep the kids away from him or something like that.
No.
He said
he said some. Yeah, basically that. He said he wouldn't have a problem as long as it doesn't like affect any kids, or it doesn't, any young man or something like that.
It is exactly what I said.
Yeah. Reproducing the what's it called?
No, it's the nasty stereotype of like
gay men being into younger boys or something.
Yes,
like that.
Exactly.
Of relating, that's more than a stereotype. I don't know what.
Yeah,
it is.
I'm sorry if anyone in the CDU gives off Epstein vibes. If anyone in the CDU gives off Epstein vibes, for fuck's sake, it's the dude who looks like
Skeletor.
Montgomery Burns.
Yeah, Merz.
Yeah.
But Jens Spahn is also like, he's the health minister. He's kind of
Jens Merz. Oh my god, you just morphed them.
Jens Merz.
Don't do that. That's dangerous.
The CDU has found a solution to our problems. We put Jens Spahn and Merz into the machine from The Fly to make the ultimate German chancellor.
I mean, they do have that machine. You know that they do, because they can create all these young, CDU, Junge Union people who look like they're simultaneously 16 and 65 at the same time.
Yeah, that Ulf guy from Junge Union who's like younger than me, but looks
Philip
like
Philip Amthor?
no, not Philip Amthor.
Okay.
Philip Amthor is the one who's like looks young but is actually fairly old.
Yeah, exactly.
There's this one from Young and
No.
Young who's like
He doesn't
who's
look
like
good.
it's like when you get closer, he looks like a turtle. But Ulf, I can't remember his last name. There's a guy called Ulf, and I got distracted, being like, "How is Ulf a real name? This is a joke. No one can be called Ulf. That's a sound I make when I fall down." But no, Ulf from Young and Young is this terrifying person. I'm still staring at my screen, so I'm going to find him actually. But yeah, I'll get him up in a second. But the thing that everything you described about Jens Spahn initially to me, Nick, reminded me of the rise of Leo Varadkar. Of this kind of, and I was like very curious to see how much the comparison actually extended, because Leo Varadkar has really changed Irish politics in terms of Leo Varadkar, I think, has successfully introduced like culture war bullshit into like Ireland. In the same way that it exists in the United States. Like, it's very strange. But I need to do more research into Jens Spahn.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, is that Jens Spahn is, like, he is just a really standard member of the CDU, but I don't think that then the culture war stuff is, like, entirely his deal. Like, that's more of, like, a Seehofer or Merz sort of deal. Like, that's like, they are the far right of their party, obviously. Like, the people who do kind of speak to maybe the person who could leave the CDU in favor of the AFD, because remember, the majority of AFD voters are former CDU voters. I think Spahn, again, like, I don't think he's been in politics for a while, don't get me wrong. He's been in Parliament for, I think, like a decade. That could very well be. I'm just not familiar enough with his like own personal voting record and stuff like that. You found him, King. There he is. Our Junge
This
Union.
guy.
Yeah, oh my god.
This guy's like 25.
Yeah. Oh.
How do they make him? I need that machine. But yeah, so I mean, we'll obviously, I think that more or less kind of covers what's going on then with the CDU. Just kind of keep your eye on this party and see what they're going to do, because this is very well going
the future of Germany.
Yeah, it very well could be that someone like Merz could be the future of Germany, or maybe we fucked up and it is and we just didn't talk about him. I personally don't see it. Him getting the head of the party, especially because like Merz released this ridiculous video the other day, really kind of trying to show that he's the youth candidate, which for the CDU means that he's furthest right wing.
Exactly.
And then
so he
was going and like giving everyone fist bumps and like doing these like showing that he could like use a computer well and whatnot.
I know, he's so great when he uses Zoom or something.
Yeah.
This just sounds like the fucking bit from 30 Rock. Hello, fellow young people.
Yeah, but the thing of the matter is that then like Friedrich Merz, like, hello, fellow young people in the Junge Union sense, is like, hey, you kids like Deutsches Reich, like
they're like, yay!
Yeah, like it is insane to me how far right wing these kids are who are into it. Like, remember they were like anti-Antifa kids.
So here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. You know how the youth group of the SPD is also further left than the SPD. So
yes, yeah, exactly.
I think there's something about being young.
Yeah, no, it's the youth wing of any party is always like
exactly more
the based version.
Yeah, it's the purest distillation of that party's
exactly.
politics.
Exactly. So there's your answer. Yeah, that's why they're
So for any of our listeners in Germany, like, go through on Twitter and look at all like the Junge Union people and see how many have like hashtag Team Merz, or like that they endorse Merz in some way on their profile. It's like all of them.
Or pose in front of a Reichsflagge in Münster. I mean.
Or that. But so I think that then just the kind of thing like I was kind of getting back to is that the thing is, these are important, obviously. Who is the head of the CDU is important at the end of this month, but it probably, if it is Merz, it probably, like, will not probably become chancellor, very unlikely, because the party meets again with the CSU internally to then decide who they are then going to send to be the chancellor candidate for their whole party, which very well could be a Jens Spahn character, or or someone else who then comes up in the party, because they really are going to have a hard time finding someone who is as popular as Merkel. And like I said, I was like going to come back to those popularity measurements or whatever, the polls. Merkel being at 72, Markus Söder is second most popular person in Germany at 57%. So there's there's a decent...
They all saw the pictures.
Yeah. They all saw, and Jens Spahn directly right now behind him with 56, but that is a 8-point drop from last week.
Nice.
So this is like where Söder and Merkel are comfortably, like, their popularity never changes. Like, that change of Jens Spahn is definitely something to maybe keep in mind, that then maybe this is just a fluke. Maybe he's not actually going to be the hope that they were having of someone who could then kind of swing in and take this massive popularity that Merkel has, who isn't far right wing either.
I can say one thing: die Frauenunion, so the
women's
union.
It's like a caucus,
but yeah. Is not rallying behind Merz because of like certain decisions.
Yes.
Yeah.
the one decision I know Merz made.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna elaborate on that, I think, on the
we're gonna do a whole rundown
on the Merz cast.
About Merz. Yeah,
exactly. So that is something. But it's not like the CDU ever did care a lot about women. So.
Yeah, I think it's this thing of just like the to me it sounds like the CDU kind of like happened upon this fluke of Merkel, of this candidate that they put forward that actually turned out to be very popular with like Germany at large, not just the CDU base.
Yeah, like the idea of Germany too, for like the modern Germany, then where it stands globally in the world.
Yeah.
Like Merkel is that face. There's people like I think mostly in our age group do not like know what it was like under Schröder.
I do.
Barely.
It was 6 like people who can vote legally now, like just now, only existed in a non-Merkel Germany from ages 1 to 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's kind of insane. But like at the same time, I think just this selection process, who's actually in front of us and stuff like that, is just kind of proof that the CDU kind of like accidentally fell into that position of Merkel being so widely loved. Yeah. They don't know how to recreate it.
Yeah.
No, because you like it is just like a thing that happens once. You're not gonna, I don't think that they can bottle up Merkel energy and just start like gifting it out to the rest of the party, because she is,
especially because a lot of the party criticizes her and doesn't,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, yeah, that's fair. No, you're right.
But on that note, I guess before we go, just kind of hope that we can all bottle up some Merkel energy and head into the rest of this week. Or in Julia's case, the Sterni that she's finishing off.
Excuse me, this is a youth party. This is Rot. This is a Dutch youth
Sternberg Export, the official party of the now outcast youth wing of the Socialist Party of the Netherlands.
Exactly.
That's what I meant to say.
Yeah.
So, Julia and myself are going to try to do then a separate show that then is connected, obviously, to... still part of Corner Späti, but we're going to try to do like a twice monthly little extra thing with the German elections. It's just kind of a, hey, what's up? What's going on? That'll probably just be these like midweek shorts about exactly what we're talking about right now. Just, parties, maybe try to get people from certain parties onto the show and whatnot. We don't have a name for it yet, but we'll start doing this project then. I don't know, 2 weeks from now, probably, like where we talk about Mats, probably, kind of closing into the CDU
Yeah, we
elections.
should because exactly.
Yeah. So that's something for all of our listeners to keep an eye out for, and obviously
listen
the
to
other
me
members
using more German terms.
Yeah.
Julia's
Before-
doing the Andy Kluth tactic of just using words in another language to sound smart. She actually doesn't
So,
speak German.
Zeitgeist. It's all about zeitgeist.
We hope that because I think that we kind of noticed like here on our show that then like while we do cover German news and German elections and elections all over Europe, there aren't really like I always feel the sense that there aren't really there isn't that much media that covers things that just aren't Merkel when it comes to the elections that isn't in German. So in case you guys want to, listen in and see what's going on with everyone else and what other parties there are in Germany, because they aren't all just the SPD and the CDU, and there are some actual cool people in the Greens and the left and whatnot. So
yeah, and the person I was talking about was not called Ulf. I now remember Ulf was the fake name I gave him.
Oh.
I was thinking of Tilman Kuban, who is the head of
Kuban,
he's 33 years old and he looks 50 something. It's amazing.
He's
that
33.
pretty much is 50 something for being in Junge Union still.
For being in Junge Union. Yeah.
The man has skin like uncooked bratwurst.
That is beautiful. But do you have anything else to plug, or
no? Keep watching the stars. No, it's 2021, and it's going to be a weird year. Yeah, it's title suggestion for Julia and Nick's new side project is hey, ich wolle here.
Ciaran can't decline his verbs properly. Nice.
No, I can't. But you get me. It's hey, I'm voting here.
And actually, I can't vote here, so I'm not.
Exactly.
I can.
It's an ironic title.
I vote for all of us. Okay.
Yeah.
Just make several.
We dictate the vote to Julia. Yeah, we have to decide as a podcast how Julia votes.
Yeah,
all four of us just like go into the polling booth, just all, snuggled up.
Exactly. And then I want you to cheer me on and give me like tips and shit like that.
It's the interview scene from Step Brothers. We're just going to the voting booth. It's like there's actually four of us.
Yeah. It's just me, just like whispering into Julia's ears, like, "Yeah, you're gonna do it. You're gonna vote AFD, aren't you? You're gonna fucking do it."
Oh my god!
You know you want to.
And I'll just be poking Julia, being like, "Julia, I don't understand any of this. Translate it. What does it mean?"
Rob just says I should vote for SPD because they still have a chance.
They're still good. You got this.
Rob would just be like, Guy Debord would tell you to vote for that.
Write in Goku. That's my strategy.
I'm going for that.
Yeah.
All right, then on that note, we will see you guys all next week. And no, do not listen to any of us about... All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.